wanted to upload this video today for everyone who's wanting to get started in the service industry. I had a short, and hopefully that's doing well and is drawing people to this video so we can kind of cover the basis of exactly how you can get started with really cheap services and then tier that up into more expensive services. Essentially, the two services that you can start with almost no money is window cleaning and auto detailing. Now, I started in the auto detailing space, and for reference, I literally had about $300 to my name when I started this, and I went and bought all the equipment only when I booked the first appointment. So I paid for equipment. The next day I went and ran the appointment. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I stayed up watching videos on how to detail and best practices, and literally got all of my equipment paid off with that first appointment. And then I knew, okay, now I have this equipment and I can start to run more appointments. I can start to actually make some money. And I didn't make a ton of money in the beginning. I don't want to be telling you some extravagant story where it doesn't make any sense. I really was only doing 2 or 3 appointments a week, and some of them might be as cheap as $150, and the most expensive might have been $300. And I was probably doing maybe $600 or $700 a week when I got started. And then there would be lulls, there would be busier times, but on average that's what I was kind of maintaining through really the first 6 months of business. What I then did is I added in window cleaning. And the reason is because I found it hard to get tons and tons of volume in one service. So I added window cleaning as a means to get, different customers or potentially upsell a customer. And even though those services aren't directly tied to each other, it really started to work well. And basically I was able to fill in gaps in my schedule with the other services, so that I went from making, $600 or $700 a week to, $1,000 to basically $1,500 a week in the busy season. Now, at that time, I really thought $1,500 was a lot, but the problem that you run into with these lower entry-level services is you're doing lots and lots of volume. So I was to do $1,500 a week. I was washing a bunch of vehicles, and I was doing it way too cheap. And then I was doing lots of window cleaning, and I had no standard pricing. So it really was just me running appointments all day long. And I was at least able to cover all my bills, and continue to pay for the business and continue to do so. So it was working. The next step was I really wanted to get into something that paid more. And that, for me at the time, was getting into pressure washing and exterior cleaning services. And so I knew that these services that I already do are all similar in regard to they are maintaining some form of property, that it is cleaning, and they can kind of piggyback each other so that I can basically cover all my bases and always have appointments. Now, the long and the short of this is I got into pressure washing, and we got a trailer, and that trailer sat stagnant for essentially months. And I really thought it was a bad investment. I thought it was not gonna work out. I thought, this is such a silly idea. We should have saved the money. We shouldn't have got into this. Maybe we should sell this trailer and just wipe our hands clean of this. And then that's when I started to get calls, because I had been telling customers when I would detail a car or when I would clean their windows that we also soft wash homes. And at the time, this is in the middle of winter when it's a slow season. People really aren't doing much of that. So I didn't realize that I was planting seeds. And you need to think about your business like this. If you start with the windows and you want to start auto detailing, start planting that seed that you can do it. Learn the basics, obviously, know what you're talking about, but start planting seeds with your customers, because then they will take you up on that offer at some point, or they'll reach out to you 3 months down the road. And so that's what started happening with pressure washing. And once we got into soft washing, the business exploded, and I was able to make more money doing arguably less work because the tickets are higher, because the projects you're working on are bigger. Now, how can you do this? And let me break this down into like a systematic step for someone that wants to get into the industry. They're saying, you know, I would love to pressure wash homes. I would love to do concrete cleaning. I would love to really do projects that can pay $1,000-$2,000, which is high, by the way. Not every job is like that. There's a lot of regular size homes that are less, but nonetheless, you're wanting to know, how can you get into this? How can you afford to get the trailer? How can you afford to get all the machines? And I think the key is just starting to build relationships and get your name out there. If you offer something like window cleaning, where you've literally paid $50 to have the equipment, you can ride around, you can introduce yourself to everybody. You can have business cards made for like 20 bucks, and you can really go out and start spreading that around. When you start to get calls and you start to win jobs, what it does is it builds your confidence, and it also builds the customer's confidence in you, as long as you're doing good work. And you shouldn't rush. You shouldn't think, okay, well, I have to do this to get here. No, focus on the work. Okay. And if you're starting with or if you're starting with window cleaning, it's such a lean business that almost everything is profit except for your time. And you shouldn't be thinking about employees at this point. You know, you should just be thinking about, how can I get as many people to do this as possible? Sharing posts of your work in Facebook community groups, posting on Nextdoor, you know, going to local businesses and giving them a card. There's a lot of ways to do this, and that's really a topic for another video. But when you start making money on this, you now have a little bit of money that you can spend to do something else. And I think the second step would be getting into the auto detailing space. And the reason I say this is because cleaning windows is very hard to mess something up. It's very hard to feel like you're risking anything. And when you make the transition from cleaning windows to detailing cars, all of a sudden you're tasked with not only cleaning, let's say someone's Corvette, for example, but they feel like it's in trusted professional hands. And that's going to start to align you with doing good work and taking care of expensive things for others. This is a mindset shift. So window cleaning can feel very janitorial. It can feel very like you're not important. And when you transition to vehicles after that, it really opens up doors for you, because now people are trusting you with more expensive vehicles. You can, as you get better, you can start to raise your pricing. You start getting comfortable with charging $300-$400 to do a service that takes you 3 or 4 hours. Your worth starts to really come up with your skill set. And then what that allows you to do is build trust with people. That's the key. When people know that you can take care of expensive things, they will feel much better about calling you to do a bigger project like soft washing their home. Now, again, you're going to tier from the window cleaning to the auto detailing, for example. Or maybe you skip auto detailing altogether and you go straight from window cleaning straight to homes. But I will tell you, it's a big jump. And I've known a lot of people who are really intelligent and really understand how to do the process, and they still have this fear of washing someone's home. I currently specialize in high-end homes. So all the homes that I wash are over $1 million. And the first time I did it, it was a kind of a scary pill to swallow. And so I don't recommend making a dramatic jump like that if you're not ready, because sometimes you can kind of fold under pressure and get really nervous and start to make mistakes. But as you tier up and you go from windows to, let's say, cars or boats or RV, whatever, you start to feel like you can handle that kind of pressure. The customer really starts to trust you, and then also it allows you to pay for the equipment, because pressure washing, I'm not going to lie to you, is not the cheapest service to get into. And it's not the highest ticket service. There's a lot of other services people could get into with similar money that probably pay better, but this video is for this purpose, so I'm going to explain that the best I can. Think about it like a staircase. Get in, get comfortable, start to make money. Use that money to pay for the next service. Expand your horizon a little bit. Start working with more expensive stuff. And as you get to that comfort level and you feel like you're maxing out your time, that's when you actually invest that money into a trailer, high-end equipment, and then really take it to the next level and start actually working on homes, getting the ladders you need, whatever it is. I think people overcomplicate this. They want to go from 0 to 100. Maybe I should stay at my job and just save up all this money and build up a trailer. But then you have no clients and you have this, this expensive setup. The big part that is overlooked is when you start in this manner, where you start with some cheaper service that doesn't take a lot of skill, and then you add another service to it, and you start to build a reputation. When you do go to offer that, all of those customers cross-pollinate. And what I mean by that is if someone paid you to clean their windows, they will pay someone to wash their home. If someone paid you to detail their car, you better believe they'll pay you to wash their home or clean their gutters or seal their stone pavers around their pool. You want to look at every customer like an oyster, and there's more than one pearl inside. If they pay for one, they pay for others. So if you can get into the industry and you can actually start to generate money and build trust with the customers, whatever you want to get into, whether it's pressure washing or it's excavation or it's landscaping, you have put in the time and the work to build the trust and save the money and build the confidence in yourself to do so. So I hope you found this interesting. I hope this helps. I would like to go in other videos more in depth of exactly how to promote these services, exactly how to execute on them. There's a ton of things we didn't cover: customer communication, how you process payments. There's a whole lot. But for the gist, I think the hardest part is people getting over that hump to actually making money on their own. And once you do start to do that, you will feel more confident and more secure in yourself, and you'll be able to go after bigger and better projects. Thank you if you stayed through this whole video. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found this helpful in some capacity. And if you did, I just ask that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have an awesome, blessed day, and thank you for tuning in.